Many older adults struggle with muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and a constant feeling of frailty when they wake up in the morning, wondering if their mobility is slowly slipping away. The uncertainty of whether you are eating the right breakfast to protect your bones can be deeply frustrating, especially when you are trying your hardest to stay independent. As someone who has spent years observing aging joints and muscles, I can tell you that the standard advice you hear might not be giving your body what it truly needs to thrive. I remember a man named Robert, aged 78, who came to me complaining that his legs felt heavy and weak every time he tried to stand up from his favorite armchair. He had been eating scrambled eggs every single morning because his primary doctor told him it was the absolute best thing for his aging muscles, but his stiffness was only getting worse and his energy was dropping. Your own doctor might have been telling you this exact same incomplete information, leaving you unaware that a specific type of cheese could be much more effective for your daily strength. Before we begin, a critical disclaimer. The information I'm sharing today is strictly for educational purposes. Always consult with your doctor before messing with your medication. 1. Swap your usual morning eggs for a half cup of whole cottage cheese. This simple morning exchange provides a much denser, slower releasing source of structural protein that actively protects your aging muscles from breaking down during the early hours of the day. I remember a woman named Martha, aged 76, who struggled with a deep, aching weakness in her thighs when walking down the stairs each morning. Her mistake was relying solely on a single boiled egg for her breakfast, which simply did not provide enough immediate material to maintain her muscle mass. I suggested she switch to a half cup of cottage cheese instead, and within a few weeks, she noticed her legs felt significantly steadier and more reliable on those same morning stairs. The direct reason this works is that your muscles require a very specific, continuous supply of protein to repair the daily wear and tear that happens as we get older. Eggs are certainly a fine food, but the unique protein found in this specific dairy product is called casein, which takes much longer for your digestive system to break down and distribute throughout your body. Because it digests so slowly, your muscles receive a steady, calming stream of nutrients for hours after you finish your breakfast, preventing the sudden drop in energy that often leads to afternoon fatigue. When you age past 70, your body becomes naturally less efficient at extracting these building blocks from your food, meaning you need a denser, more consistent source to keep your arms and legs feeling strong and capable. When you first make this dietary swap, you might notice a difference in how your stomach feels throughout the morning hours. Eggs digest relatively quickly, which is why many people find themselves reaching for a piece of toast or a biscuit by 10 o'clock in the morning to satisfy a returning hunger. This specific dairy product, however, creates a comforting, heavy feeling in the stomach that signals your brain you are fully nourished and do not need to seek out extra snacks. For older adults, avoiding those mid-morning carbohydrate snacks is an excellent way to maintain a steady, calm energy level without relying on sugar. This consistent feeling of fullness is a direct result of the dense nutrition finally reaching the muscles that need it most. Furthermore, creating this new breakfast habit provides an incredible sense of control over your own aging process. When you actively choose a food that is structurally designed to support your mobility, you are stepping away from the fear of physical decline and taking a practical, daily step toward independence. It is very common for people over 70 to feel like their health is entirely in the hands of medical professionals or prescription bottles, which can be a very helpless feeling. Simply opening your refrigerator and measuring out this specific dairy product is a physical reminder that you still have immense power over how your body feels and functions every single day. You are quietly building a foundation of strength in your own kitchen. To do this properly, you need to establish a very simple morning routine that does not require turning on the stove or spending a long time cooking. When you wake up, take a clean bowl and measure exactly 1/2 cup of the cheese, placing it on the counter to take the chill off for a few minutes before you eat it. You can eat it completely plain with a spoon, taking your time to chew and swallow comfortably, or you can add a tiny pinch of black pepper if you prefer a savory taste in the morning. Make sure you consume this within the first hour of waking up, as your body is most receptive to absorbing these nutrients after fasting all night while you were asleep. This supports steadier muscle maintenance throughout your entire morning routine. 2. Pair your morning bowl of cheese with a small serving of vitamin C-rich fruit. Combining this specific dairy with vitamin C creates an ideal environment for your body to synthesize collagen, which is the exact material that keeps your joints moving smoothly without grinding. I remember a man named Arthur, aged 81, who experienced constant clicking and discomfort in his knees every time he tried to work in his garden. His mistake was eating his protein completely on its own without any supporting vitamins to help the nutrients reach his joint tissues effectively. We corrected this by having him slice a few fresh strawberries into his daily bowl, and his knee discomfort gradually became much less noticeable during his gentle gardening sessions. The explanation for this improvement is very straightforward when you look at how your body builds the cushions between your bones. The cheese provides the heavy building blocks, but vitamin C acts as the necessary spark that tells your body to turn those building blocks into fresh, healthy collagen for your knees, hips, and shoulders. As we pass our 7th decade of life, our natural ability to produce this joint cushioning material slows down significantly, which is why everyday movements can suddenly feel rigid or uncomfortable. By putting these two specific foods into your stomach at the exact same time, you are giving your digestive system everything it needs in one simple package to start repairing the cartilage that keeps you active. Many older adults worry that mixing dairy with fruit might cause digestive discomfort or an upset stomach during the day. However, the natural acidity of fruits like oranges or berries actually complements the mild, creamy texture of the cheese, making it very gentle on a mature digestive system. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid naturally, which can sometimes make heavy meals difficult to process efficiently. The small amount of natural fruit acid assists your stomach in breaking down the heavy proteins, ensuring that nothing sits heavily in your belly while you go about your daily chores. This simple combination is a wonderful way to enjoy a sweet flavor in your day without resorting to baked goods that offer no nutritional value to your joints. It is also worth noting that preparing this combination of food is remarkably safe for older hands that might struggle with complicated kitchen tools. You do not need sharp chef knives, heavy cast iron skillets, or boiling water to prepare this joint-supporting meal, which greatly reduces the risk of kitchen accidents. If your fingers are stiff in the morning, you can easily use a simple butter knife to cut a soft banana or a ripe peach to mix into your bowl without causing any strain on your own joints. This accessibility is a crucial part of maintaining a healthy diet as you age, because if a meal is too difficult or painful to prepare, you are simply not going to eat it consistently. Keeping the preparation completely effortless ensures that your body receives these vital nutrients without adding any physical stress to your morning. To easily add this habit to your daily life, you should keep a small supply of appropriate fruits in your kitchen at all times. Good choices include a handful of blueberries, a few slices of kiwi, or a small portion of a fresh orange, all of which contain the right amount of the necessary vitamin. Simply wash the fruit thoroughly, cut it into very small bite-sized pieces that are easy to chew, and gently fold them directly into your half cup of cheese. You do not need a large amount of fruit. Just 2 or 3 tablespoons mixed into the bowl is more than enough to activate the joint-protecting benefits you are looking for. This supports smoother movement and less stiffness when you walk. 3. Eat exactly 2 or 3 spoonfuls of this cheese roughly 30 minutes before bed. Giving your body a small amount of this slow-digesting food before bed ensures your muscles have the raw materials they need to repair themselves while you are resting. I remember a woman named Helen, age 75, who kept waking up in the middle of the night with severe cramps and a deep ache in her calves. Her mistake was going to bed on an empty stomach, which forced her aging body to break down her own muscle tissue for energy during the long night. We corrected this by having her eat 3 spoons of cottage cheese before brushing her teeth, and her nighttime leg aches faded away completely over the following weeks. The reason this nighttime habit is so effective relates to how your body handles physical repair when you are completely at rest. During the night, your body goes into a natural healing mode, trying to fix the tiny amounts of damage your muscles experienced during your daily activities like walking or carrying groceries. If there is no food in your stomach, your body has nothing to use for these repairs, which often leads to waking up feeling weaker or more tired than when you went to sleep. Because the casein protein in this dairy product takes many hours to break down, it provides a gentle, continuous drip of nourishment to your legs and arms the entire time your eyes are closed. A common concern among people over 70 is that eating anything at all before bed will cause them to wake up frequently to use the bathroom. This is why it is incredibly important to understand that you are only consuming a few small bites of solid food, not drinking a large glass of liquid. Because this cheese is dense and requires very little water to process, it sits quietly in your stomach without putting any extra pressure on your bladder during the night. You do not have to worry about this habit interrupting your sleep schedule. In fact, the steady release of nutrients often helps older adults stay asleep longer because their bodies are not waking them up due to hidden hunger. It is a completely safe, dry method of delivering protein precisely when your body is most desperate for it. For those who live alone, this small nighttime ritual can also provide a deeply comforting rhythm to the end of your day. Establishing a quiet, healthy habit right before bed signals to your nervous system that the day is officially over and it is time to transition into a state of deep rest and recovery. The simple act of sitting at your table, eating a few quiet spoonfuls of this nourishing food, and knowing you are actively protecting your muscles can significantly reduce nighttime anxiety. Many seniors struggle with racing thoughts or worries about their physical health when the house gets quiet, which can severely impact their ability to fall asleep. This practical, physical action replaces that worry with a feeling of proactive care, allowing you to close your eyes with confidence in your body's ability to heal. To make this part of your evening routine, you must keep the portion size very small so that you do not upset your stomach or cause heartburn. You do not need a full bowl for this specific habit. Simply take a standard dining spoon and scoop out 2 or 3 moderate bites from the container. Eat this very slowly while you are sitting in your kitchen or living room, making sure to swallow completely before you go to your bathroom to prepare for bed. You should also drink a small sip of water afterward to ensure your mouth is clean before you brush your teeth for the night. This supports deeper rest and a stronger physical feeling when you wake up the next morning. 4. Choose the full-fat or 4% milk fat version instead of fat-free options. Including the natural dairy fat is absolutely necessary because it allows your body to actually absorb the bone-protecting vitamins hidden inside the food. I remember a man named Thomas, aged 79, whose routine bone density scans were showing concerning declines despite his daily dairy consumption. His mistake was strictly buying the fat-free version of the cheese because he thought it was healthier for his waistline, completely missing the essential fats his bones required. I advised him to switch immediately to the full-fat version, and his subsequent scans showed his bone health had stabilized beautifully without any negative impact on his overall weight. When you remove the fat from dairy products, you are also stripping away the body's ability to use the calcium and vitamin D that are naturally present in the food. These specific nutrients are known as fat-soluble, which is a simple way of saying they physically cannot enter your bloodstream unless they are attached to a piece of dietary fat. Older adults are frequently told to avoid fats to protect their hearts, but avoiding natural dairy fat entirely can leave your bones incredibly vulnerable to becoming brittle and fragile over time. The natural fats found in whole milk products are actually very stable and provide a slow-burning source of energy that keeps your mind clear and your bones dense as you navigate your 70s and 80s. Another deeply beneficial aspect of choosing the 4% fat option is how it affects your daily appetite and your overall mood. Natural dietary fats are incredibly satisfying to the human brain, providing a sense of comfort and well-being that fat-free products simply cannot replicate. For seniors who sometimes struggle with a poor appetite or finding food appealing, the richer, creamier texture of the whole fat version is often much more enjoyable to eat on a daily basis. When you actually enjoy the food you are eating, you are far more likely to stick to this healthy habit long term rather than abandoning it after a few days because it tastes like cardboard. Nourishing your body should be a pleasant experience, and this natural fat content ensures that your morning routine remains something you look forward to. Finally, keeping a container of this whole-fat dairy in your home provides a wonderfully versatile ingredient that can be used in multiple safe ways throughout your week. If you ever become tired of eating it completely plain from a bowl, you can easily spread a thick layer of it over a piece of toasted whole wheat bread for a change in texture. Because the full-fat version is so thick and sturdy, it will not make your toast soggy, allowing you to enjoy a satisfying crunch alongside your essential daily protein. You can even mix a small spoonful into a warm bowl of morning oatmeal to make the texture creamier, while significantly boosting the nutritional value of your standard breakfast. Having this one powerful, flexible food available in your kitchen gives you multiple easy pathways to protect your bones without ever feeling bored with your diet. When you go to the grocery store, you must read the labels on the plastic containers very carefully before you place them in your shopping cart. Look specifically for the numbers 4% or the words whole milk printed clearly on the front of the packaging, completely ignoring any containers that say skim, fat-free, or low-fat. If you have been eating the fat-free version for a long time, the whole-fat version might taste a little richer or heavier at first, so you can start by eating a slightly smaller portion until your palate adjusts. Store it securely in the coldest part of your refrigerator, usually the middle or bottom shelf, to ensure it stays fresh and safe to eat for the entire week. This supports maximum calcium absorption for a sturdy, resilient skeletal system. 5. Add a small spoonful of magnesium-rich pumpkin seeds to your daily cheese bowl. This simple addition acts as a necessary guide to ensure the heavy calcium from the dairy travels directly into your bones rather than settling uncomfortably in your joints. I remember a woman named Barbara, aged 82, who suffered from stiff, aching shoulders despite taking calcium supplements and eating plenty of dairy every single day. Her mistake was consuming all of that calcium without providing her body any magnesium to help direct those essential minerals to her skeletal system. We corrected this by having her sprinkle a spoonful of raw pumpkin seeds over her daily cottage cheese, and her shoulder stiffness vastly improved as the calcium finally reached her bones. The direct explanation for why this works involves understanding how minerals behave inside an aging body. Calcium is a wonderful building block, but it is physically blind and does not automatically know where to go once it enters your stomach. If you do not have enough magnesium in your system, that calcium can wander aimlessly and eventually deposit itself in your soft tissues, which can make your joints feel incredibly rigid and painful when you try to move. Magnesium acts like a strict traffic controller, gathering the calcium from the cheese and pushing it securely into the deep matrix of your bones where it actually belongs. As we get older, our daily diets naturally tend to become lower in these vital helper minerals, leaving our bones starving for materials even when we are eating perfectly well. Pumpkin seeds are one of the most concentrated, natural sources of this specific mineral available in the grocery store, making them the perfect companion to your dairy breakfast. When you eat them together, you are creating a complete, self-contained package of bone-building materials that your digestive system can process with remarkable ease. This combination prevents the frustrating situation where you are trying your hardest to eat well, but seeing no physical improvements in your daily mobility. To add this to your routine, you must purchase the correct type of seeds from your local market to avoid hurting your teeth or consuming too much salt. Look specifically for shelled pumpkin seeds, which are soft, flat, and green, and ensure the package explicitly says they are unsalted and raw. Take exactly 1 standard tablespoon of these soft seeds and sprinkle them directly over your prepared half cup of cheese just before you sit down to eat. Take your time to chew the seeds thoroughly, allowing them to mix with the soft dairy in your mouth before you swallow. This supports stronger bones and softer, more flexible joints. 6. Here is another simple habit. Combine your daily cheese habit with a 15-minute weight-bearing walk. Walking provides the necessary mechanical signal your body requires to actually use the heavy protein and calcium you just ate to rebuild your weakening skeleton. I remember a man named David, aged 77, who was eating plenty of protein but still feeling incredibly frail and unsteady on his feet when he stood up. His mistake was sitting in his comfortable recliner all morning immediately after breakfast, giving his body no physical reason or urgency to utilize the nutrients he was consuming. We corrected this by having him take a short, steady walk around his neighborhood right after eating his cottage cheese, and his balance and leg strength improved remarkably within a month. The underlying reason this physical movement is so critical is that your bones are living, active tissues that constantly respond to the demands you place upon them. When you consume a high-quality protein like cottage cheese, those nutrients circulate in your bloodstream waiting for instructions on where they are needed most. If you remain completely still, your body assumes your skeleton does not need to be strong, and it will simply flush those valuable building blocks away through your kidneys. By engaging in a gentle walk, the mild impact of your feet hitting the ground sends a clear, undeniable message to your brain that your leg bones and hip joints must be fortified immediately. Many older adults mistakenly believe that simply resting and avoiding movement is the best way to protect their aging joints from further damage or daily wear and tear. However, prolonged sitting actually accelerates the loss of bone density and causes your muscles to shrink, making you much more vulnerable to dangerous falls in your own home. You do not need to engage in heavy, exhausting exercise to trigger this vital rebuilding process. The simple, calm force of gravity working against your body weight during a normal walk is entirely sufficient. This gentle mechanical stress tells the calcium and protein exactly where to settle, locking in the strength you need to maintain your daily independence. To perform this habit safely, you should wait approximately 20 minutes after finishing your morning bowl of dairy to allow your stomach to begin the digestive process comfortably. Put on a pair of highly supportive, flat-soled shoes that secure your ankles and prevent any slipping on the pavement or your floors. Step outside or simply walk a continuous loop around the inside of your house for exactly 15 minutes, focusing on keeping your shoulders pulled back and your chest lifted. You should walk at a very calm, steady pace that allows you to breathe easily without ever feeling winded or strained. This supports a highly responsive and incredibly durable skeletal system. 7. One more easy change you can try is balancing the natural sodium in your cheese by eating a potassium-rich side dish. This simple combination actively protects your kidneys and maintains healthy circulation, so your joints receive plenty of oxygen-rich blood without any unwanted fluid pooling in your ankles. I remember a woman named Margaret, age 74, who noticed her lower legs swelling uncomfortably in the late afternoon, making her shoes feel incredibly tight. Her mistake was eating large portions of cottage cheese without balancing the salt content with other minerals, causing her aging body to hold on to excess fluid. We corrected this by having her eat a few slices of fresh tomato alongside her dairy, and the uncomfortable swelling in her ankles disappeared entirely. The explanation for this fluid retention lies in the way commercial dairy products are prepared and preserved for your local grocery store shelves. Cottage cheese naturally contains a moderate amount of sodium, which is added during the manufacturing process to enhance the flavor and extend the safe shelf life of the product. While this sodium is not inherently dangerous, aging kidneys sometimes struggle to process it efficiently if it is not accompanied by its natural mineral counterpart, which is potassium. When these two minerals are not properly balanced in your daily meals, your body instinctively holds on to extra water to dilute the salt, leading to a heavy, tight feeling in your lower extremities. Potassium acts as a natural pressure release valve for your entire circulatory system, actively instructing your kidneys to flush out the excess sodium and water through your urine. When you provide your body with both minerals at the exact same time, your blood vessels remain perfectly relaxed and your circulation flows smoothly down to your toes and back up to your heart. This constant, unhindered blood flow is absolutely vital for orthopedic health because your cartilage and joint tissues rely entirely on fresh circulation to receive the oxygen and nutrients necessary for daily repair. Keeping this fluid balance perfectly leveled ensures your legs feel light, energetic, and completely free of painful pressure. To implement this balancing strategy, you simply need to identify a few easy, potassium-rich vegetables or fruits that you genuinely enjoy eating with your daily meals. Excellent, easy-to-chew options include a small, ripe tomato cut into gentle wedges, half of a soft avocado scooped out with a spoon, or a small handful of fresh spinach leaves. You do not need to mix these directly into the cheese if you prefer to keep the flavors separate. Simply eating them on the exact same plate during the same meal is completely sufficient. Make sure you chew these side dishes slowly and calmly, enjoying the fresh flavors alongside your protein. This supports calm circulation and prevents heavy, swollen legs. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video and subscribe for more simple health tips.